As usual, let's first start off with the deck. The deck's length is a little over 39 inches and the width is a little over 10 inches. It's made from a beautiful premium carbon fiber. It's 29.2 pounds with a max load of 440 pounds. Now you may be thinking, I recognize this deck. It definitely looks like the SheHe-Board's Summit XT, the Miles Sex Panther, and one of those buff boards that no one's ever ridden. Now I actually really enjoyed my Summit XT. It was very thin, sleek, had just the right concave, it wasn't heavy and bulky, it was strong, durable, and just a simple, easy setup. Now finally, a reputable company brought back this deck with nice, tasteful upgrades. Just for starters, the simple stuff like the grip tape. Padded, very grainy grip tape keeps you very comfortable and it keeps you locked in. Now the Summit was never a high-end board, it wasn't powerful, didn't have crazy range, but the clearance on the board and the simplicity of the board made me love it. For starters, since it was so thin, sleek, and lighter weight, it's so easy to turn the board. Just put your foot underneath it and kick it over. You can completely change your direction without struggling by picking up a heavy board. But by far, the best part was the clearance. Having good clearance on a thin, sleek carbon fiber board like this, that's very simple. I just love riding over anything I can find. It's just really fun to try all these new challenges around your local area, to just drop off certain curbs, little hills, and best of all, it keeps you confident. You can be careless and reckless while riding over anything and not have to worry about a big bulky enclosure scratching up the bottom or just smacking something underneath you and ruining your momentum when riding. Even something like this manhole cover that came out of nowhere. You kind of just ride worry-free. Then here's a perfect example that I didn't catch on camera. I was riding pretty fast on this sidewalk trail that I'm unfamiliar with. Then all of a sudden it turned to grass and then a pretty big curb. I just rode right over the grass and off the curb. But even better, anybody needs a higher range all-terrain board to commute with or run their errands with, this is it right here. Thin, sleek, and the geometry is built so well, it's very easy to pick up. As for the battery, the Noah's Ark is utilizing a 14S 3P 777 watt hour 15 amp hour Samsung 50S cells. So not only does it maintain that sleekness and gives you very good clearance, but it's fully enclosed battery, ESC, one single carbon fiber body, no exposed enclosures, no visual noise, just a spotless, clean, unadulterated setup. As for range, I'm a 160-pound rider, and the temperature is about 75 degrees Fahrenheit. I rode mostly in S Plus mode, but a little bit in S mode. I got a total of 26.5 miles of range with the Noah's Ark. Now just to show you how well it's tuned and its high quality battery cells, I was doing over 25 miles per hour with very little battery left. Still didn't get a 25 or 10% warning, but the board's very low. I'm just gonna do a quick acceleration test. S Plus mode. 1, 2, 3, go. Nice. Definitely not as powerful as it was with 100%, but still plenty of power with very, very low battery. As for the wheels, the Noah's Ark is utilizing Hota's new 155mm air pneumatic tires. Now we did a very in-depth video about these newer generation 155mm Hota tires. So if you want to check out that in-depth video, I'll put a link in the description. Now, according to Hota, they are very puncture resistant. I haven't had a flat yet, and I constantly been running over really bad roads. You know, those kind of roads that always have all that debris on the side, car parts, glass, screws, nails, you name it. I always run over those and I still have not get a flat tire with the other setup from the review and these tires the past month. They're also much thicker rubber, so you can actually run with 0 PSI in case you actually do get a flat tire. Now on top of all that, these are the Falcon Wing easy swap hubs. So even if you are using different tires and you actually get a flat tire and you don't like to run on 0 PSI, this is simple to swap out the tube and the tire. But what I really like about these hubs, not only do they look great, but they stretch out the stock tire just a little bit. A lot of these other metal hubs stretch out the tire too much. I think these are just right. As for the motors, the Noah's Ark is utilizing 6.374 2100 watt hour with a 2.8 ratio gear drive setup. I'm also really digging the bash guard. It has this kind of raw metal look to it that pops with the carbon fiber. And of course, it also works great as a handle. So in addition to having all that confidence because you have so much clearance and thin sleekness underneath your feet to ride over anything, plus the tires that are easy swap and very puncture resistant, along with being basically a run flat tire, you also have no belts, meaning anytime you ride off-roading, you're kicking up dirt, riding through sand, rocks, anything like that, no debris or chips or sand or little pebbles will get caught in your actual pulleys or belts. So when you ride this board off-roading, you have all the confidence in the world, no big bulky enclosure underneath you with basically run flat tires and no belt snapping. As for the trucks, the Noah's Ark is utilizing precision traditional kingpin trucks. They're also utilizing a mixture of 90 and 95A durometer bushings in both trucks. And in my opinion, simple, minimalistic, traditional kingpin trucks are always a great choice in my opinion, especially a setup like this. Just like the Zeus Pro and the Titan X, they're very sleek, slim carbon fiber setups. Very simple, not overcomplicated, not too wide, not too narrow, and that great mixture of carve and stability that allows me to push the car with that perfect amount of resistance. Because as much as I love double kingpin trucks, if I push it really hard, then I'm gonna break traction. With traditional kingpin, it gives me that perfect amount of resistance and allows me to push that back end out without being afraid of breaking traction. As for the ESC and remote, the gear drive AT setup is utilizing FOC pushing 90 amps. Now, if you go for the belt drive 2-in-1, the ESC is pushing 65 amps and the motors are a little bit smaller, but the belt drive will also be cheaper at $884 with our discount code. But if you go for the gear drive AT setup, you get the newest Orion remote. And seriously, this remote is one of the best in the e-skate industry. Not only does it look beautiful and feel great in the hands, but you can also see the screen fine during the daytime. What I don't like, however, is that ELOFTY has still not updated the firmware, so you cannot see your back screen menu in English. It's still in Chinese. Also, the thumb scroll wheel when you're throttling and braking feels nice. Doesn't feel cheap like a Hobby Wing scroll wheel. Okay guys, here we go. Giant hill test. Same hill we always use. ELOFTY, Noah's Ark, gear drive, 6-inch, S Plus mode, almost full battery. Let's do it. Damn. Woo! Oh man. Oh, just let off the throttle way too early. I let off the throttle really early. Yeah, I let off the throttle pretty dang early. Let's check the rider app. 30.1 miles per hour up the giant hill. Stock ELOFTY Noah's Ark 6-inch gear drive setup. Very impressive, ELOFTY. Very impressive. Okay, acceleration test, S Plus mode. 1, 2, 3, go. Nice. Yeah. The acceleration is not crazy. Is it good enough for most riders? Hell yeah. But it's not crazy. Okay guys, top speed test on the ELOFTY Noah's Ark, almost full battery, S Plus mode. Now these tires are a bit wobbly at higher speed, so I might not get all the way up there. All right, let's do it. All right, let's check the rider app. The wheels were pretty wobbly, so you gotta be careful. 33.3 miles per hour, and it was up a slight hill. Okay, brake test at 15 miles per hour. 1, 2, 3, brake. Very good. No complaints from me. A few things worth mentioning. As we all should expect, ELOFTY's unboxing experience is very nice. Everything's secured, safe, and well put together. You got all your tools, stickers, 4-amp charger, owner's manual, extra gear grease, extra bushings, and the street adapters if you decided to get the 2-in-1. And best of all, that beautiful remote. Unboxing that remote is like getting a brand new iPhone. Now, just like the Ace-Deck gear drive, you can set up Kugoo adapters or ABEC adapters if you want to utilize many different types of street wheels. If you're familiar with the channel, you know we love 2-in-1s. Having a proper 2-in-1 allows your board to be insanely diverse with all the different street wheel combinations such as cloud wheels, mad wheels, dad bods, the 115 rubbers, and many, many more. Also, this Hummingbird gear drive is very quiet compared to others. So one other thing I don't like about the remote, besides the firmware not being updated to an English menu yet, is that the low battery warning is all out of whack. Also, the 20% warning just came and there's no bars left. It's like, am I about to run out or do I have 20% left? Which one? Final thoughts. Finally, a reputable company brought back this deck. Not only did they bring back the deck, but they brought up-to-date battery, up-to-date drivetrain, up-to-date wheels, some basic traditional Kingpin trucks, which I personally love. Now, I've had big suspension setups. I've had big setups that are channel trucks. Some of them might be more comfortable, but I don't choose comfort over control. This board gives me maximum control. It gives me worry-free riding because I won't rip any belts. I won't get any pebbles stuck in any pulleys. I won't have to worry about such low clearance with a chunky enclosure underneath me when I'm running over big rocks or off-roading. But what I really don't like with off-roading boards is top-mounted batteries and ESCs. I can't have an ESC touching the back left of my foot or even close to it. It'll just make me uncomfortable and it'll take away my confidence. And if you take away my confidence, I won't have as much control. And if I don't have as much control, I won't have that good of a time, especially if there's a middle box battery standing in between my legs. My point is, you do not need to buy or even make one of those huge, big, bulky boards with crazy, insane, overly engineered suspension trucks just to do some off-roading. You really don't. In addition to this crushing the trails, it's also an excellent street shredder. So you could be carving up a new town, city, head into some trails you're unaware of, and not worry about breaking any belts. You're not really gonna have too much worry when popping a tire, because even if you do pop a tire, you can run it on 0 PSI, or even if you do have a spare tire or tube with you, it's very easy to swap. And on top of everything, it's under 30 pounds with the all-terrain setup. So under 1,200 bucks with our discount code, it's a phenomenal deal. This is kind of like a great all-around gear drive 2-in-1 setup, especially coming from a company that's been around for so long, we just didn't know it yet. Even these 115mm wheels that came with this board, I didn't even get to test because I was having such a good time with the AT setup. They're the ones that made those wheels in 2019. This board kind of reminds me of an updated Zeus, one of those boards I really truly love to ride all the time. It's not the most highest performance, longest range board ever, and I don't want it to be. I want to have that control fun factor, not the big bulky heaviness with crazy range that I'll never utilize. So if you want to scoop any ELOFTY board, use our discount code ESKATEUNITY at checkout. Thank you for watching, guys. Please comment, like, share, subscribe. Have a good one, guys.